Hello, my spiritual family. This is High Priestess Key 333 coming to do your Gibbous waning. Okay, so now we're in the Gibbous waning energy family today. Okay, the Gibbous waning energy is pretty much where it's the opposite of what I told you before in reference to the Gibbous waxing, right? So the gibbous waning, by definition, family, is when it's between the full moon and a half a moon. Okay, so waning, it means it's getting smaller. All right. So I just want to make sure I tell you guys that so you'll have the actual definition and you know what I'm talking about. Okay. But I do these so you can follow the moon phases. Okay. So you can be abreast to the moon phases and you can pay attention to that, be intentional around the moon phases. Right now is about things that are waning, right, getting smaller after that full moon, right? But not only that, with the gibbous waning family, what you need to know about that is the time now spiritually where you should be banishing things, getting rid of things, letting go of things, right? Unblocking negative energy, removal of stagnant energy right now. Okay. So these are the things that you should be doing under a gibbous waning. Okay. Right now, it's probably going to be highlighted in reference of, maybe even family situations and your marriages and maybe even fertility in some situations. But the main thing in reference of harnessing this energy right now is about banishment, is about unblocking stagnant energy and so forth. Okay. The things also that you need to know about the gibbous waning is that right now you can be using things to help you to raise your vibrations, promote healing, promote peace, right? Work with some cinnamon, things like that. Right now is the time for you to work with some cinnamon. That's what I'm gonna leave you guys with in reference of the gibbous waning. Okay, that's all I'm gonna tell you. Now, right now we're in Capricorn season in the true sidereal and in the western, okay, which I'm always talking in the true sidereal with you guys, right? But the moon, where the moon sits right now, the moon is sitting right now, and I'll show you guys where the moon is sitting and where the sun is sitting. Let me go ahead and get that up for you guys, and I'll show you, because you guys know I like to show you where everything is in the true sidereal and in the verdict. Is what I like to look at in the transit. So I'm going to blow this up and show this to you guys. Let me present it. All right. Hold on one moment. Okay. All right. So here is the current time. Okay. The current date, and you can see it's in the east, right? So I always use New York in reference of the East Coast. All right. We are looking at the sidereal. You'll see that that is the verdict, which the verdict and the true sidereal are pretty much, side by side, except for one doesn't utilize the 13th sign and the other one does. All right. But it'll still give us the just due of what we're trying to see. As you can see right here, this is where the sun is, family. Okay. So the sun, you can see, is in Capricorn at this time. And it'll also show you here the sun is in Capricorn. Okay. So, the sun being in Capricorn right now is a position of gravity and seriousness of the mind, and tends to thoughtfulness and reserved self-control. Okay. It's about your practical capacity, ability to attend to detail, and sufficient strength of will to pursue your ends, preservingly and steadily for years in order to achieve what you desire. Okay, so this is just some, I'm not going to read to you all of it, but you can see where it does sit right now in Capricorn. And also what's in Capricorn is Pluto. Okay, which Pluto, for the Westerners, that's something you utilize. And some Verdict and true sidereal, they still look at Pluto as being a planet. I actually look at it being as Quayar, but we'll talk about that when we get to the planets. All right. So in reference of the moon, okay, let me move this around so you can see where the moon is. The moon is down here. See it? Okay, let me move it up. Let me turn it around so you can see where the moon is. All right. Here's the moon, right? The moon is here. All right, so the moon is in Virgo right now. Okay, so the moon is in Virgo right now. See that, family? It gives you all the latitude where it sits. This is the actual planetary alignment. Like if you're looking out in the sky at a telescope, what is up now during this gibbous waning energy? Okay, so you know what to work with. All right, if you're doing any rituals, if you're doing anything that you need to do around setting your intentions, you know right now it's Virgo, and you know right now is Virgo moon. So you know right now it's all about, Virgos. That's definitely a sign and reference of tapping in with spiritual connection very strongly. I'm a Virgo moon anyway, so right now is a good time for me to be doing things, prayer, right, meditation, because that's what Capricorn signifies, prayer and meditation. Okay. So the Virgo moon is all about this increases the mental ability and especially the practical side of your mind. It fits for you for any occupation in which adaptability, ingenuity, and grasp of method and details are required. So far as this position is concerned, you would probably be more fortunate as a servant than as a master, although you may achieve considerable success, especially if you associate yourself with the workhead, with others, or work under a head. Okay, so right now with this moon, it definitely connects in reference of you are inclined to worry or be anxious at times, and you need to cultivate hopefulness. Okay, so it just gives us some information around this. But what I also want you to understand is the spiritual astrology behind Virgo and Scorpio. So the spiritual astrology, which is different from the it's different. It's esoteric, family. Okay, it's spiritual meanings behind all of these things, right? And sometimes they like to keep you guys out of alignment. Okay, but what you need to know in reference of that Virgo energy, Virgo is all about being divine, right? Virgo is all about the mental as well. So it is saying yes in reference of right now you may be a little bit clouded in reference of judgment because you might be out of alignment. But if you're not out of alignment, this is a great time for you to be doing things in reference of stability, teaching, working hard to do whatever you have to do to stay in alignment as well. Okay. Now with that Capricorn, because Virgo is all about the law of vibration. So that means, right now you need to be tapping into your shadow in reference of vibrating high. Okay. Because the moon energy is just that, right? Your shadow. That Capricorn is the law of relativity. So everything is relative right now for you. Okay. So that's another thing you need to understand, that right now everything is all relative of what happens. Here's where all the signs so you can see them. Okay. But that Capricorn energy is definitely about everything is relative. So right now you should be viewing all challenges as lessons that come along with this energy right now in the Gibbous waning. Okay. But remember, the Gibbous waning is about banishing, about unblocking that stagnant energy. And why would you be doing that now? Because right now you have that Capricorn energy. Capricorns are hard workers, right? They do what they have to do in reference of doing, getting things done. So, and also they have if they're in alignment, you have all your clairs, right? So, and they're the humanitarian, but you can't get caught up with Capricorn season also brings on a lot of lust. Okay, so don't get caught up in lusting at the things that may not serve your highest good right now when it comes to what energy we're in. Okay, so this is the planetary alignment at this time in reference of the true sidereal and the verdict family, as you can see. Okay, and I'm not going to go into too much more, but I definitely wanted you to see the moon, and I definitely wanted you to see where Capricorn is right now for the sun. All right, where we're finally in Capricorn season, and we're in Virgo moon right now. All right. So those are the two signs. I mean, those are the two energies I wanted to bring to you, especially with that moon being in Virgo right now. So we can discuss that, and we can ask the ancestors to give us a message in reference of it being the Gibbous waning in Virgo. The Gibbous waning. Okay, so cards flew out. Okay, so we got Oberon first. Okay, that's the first planet that flew out. We got Saturn, and we got Mars. Okay. So the three cards that flew out, family, I'm going to take them as the message because I don't want it to be too much today. Okay. But the three cards that flew out when I asked about it, the ancestors is trying to tell us some information here, something in reference of our future, okay, where some things can be very Saturn and Mars, right? So if you think about these two planets, okay, I'm trying to get on where you can see it. See it? Saturn and Mars, okay? Boom, Saturn and Mars, okay? And the first card is about, Gemini energy. So I have Gemini, I have Aries, and I have Sagittarius here. Okay, so this message could ring true for those signs more than others. All right. But what you need to know on that first realm is that realm is what we consider a realm about the future. Okay. That realm is a planet that's going to tell us about how to start navigating and working on things that we truly need to work on in reference of our health, in reference of our careers, in reference of our wealth, our lives, basically our future, our peace, finances, whatever it may be, because right now we're all being monitored. Okay. That's the energy that the ancestors is telling us with this moon energy that we're feeling right now with the gibbous waning, okay? Being monitored. What does that mean for the future? Well, that's what the ancestors in the Most High is looking down on us to see exactly what's the next move. So making your next move your best move, right? Even in reference to what others are doing that aren't great, right? For the public and for us, in some ways, they're being judged as well spiritually, right? In reference to how they handle the future too. So you can only control what you can control. So this is about you controlling the outcome for whatever is happening in your life. Okay. So the answers want you to know that right now, don't be tempted on doing anything. Okay. Right now, temptation will be very high. Right now, you may have some triggers in reference of childhood traumas and things like that could come back up. Okay. And things that you have had happen in your life may trigger down to some of the things that are happening in your adulthood. So some of that you need to reflect on as well. Okay. But the other part of this is that Saturn energy, right? So Saturn right now is very, very prominent in the collective, okay, which we all pretty much can say yes to that, right? But Saturn energy in the spiritual astrology is Aries energy, okay? So Aries energy, and that future realm was Gemini energy. Okay, so we know that we're getting ready to see a new future with the Gemini coming into play for the collective on Monday. So that's why the ancestors sent that out, and the Gibbous Waning will still be here as well. Okay, so look, we got to look at it in all different shape, forms, and flavors. Okay, now on top of that, we got the Saturn with that future. So that's letting us, and we got Mars. So that's kind of letting us know, family, things going to be a little strenuous. It's going to be a little restricted. It's going to be a little heavy. It's going to be some limitations. Okay. As you can already see with certain apps and things like that happening, and some things being barred, and even in reference of some situations that may come about later on, but the answer is letting us know what this gibbous waning. This is the energy that's here. All right. But on that Saturn energy, Saturn is about bringing nations together. So, right now it may be that, you start seeing certain nations come together now that he's in place. So we may see that starting to happen. Okay. So this is all what the answers is throwing out right now to us. It's about uniting nations. Okay. Right now we'll see some situational things that we need to be aware about. Okay. Just pay attention, use your intuition, be informed in reference of making decisions, put it like that. Okay, so right now it's going to be about a lot of people earning more money. Money is going to be a very, very strong topic and subject right now for the collective as well, even in the future. And it's going to be some things that the Mars energy is on the end. People aggressively going after money being aggressively playing a part in people's lives. We're going to see a lot of foreign things around the money aspect of things. And that also goes back to the earnings. Okay. We're going to see a lot, family. We're going to see a lot, water, okay, and power. We're going to see a lot around that Saturn. Saturn is water. So we're going to see a lot of things around water and around money. Like I said, in reference of some things. Now, the first thing Ancestors is saying to me, we're going to see a lot of greed. okay? Because that energy of the law of cause and effect, but we're going to also see a lot of people get karma back in reference of greed as well, okay? So pay attention. This is all coming through of what the ancestors is telling us based off of this gibbous waning, okay? This is energy in reference of that can go in with that Saturn. This is ancestors telling us and showing us things that can start happening all the way into the spring. All right, because Saturn is in reference of that. We also gonna have start seeing some things in reference of maybe even in the healthcare field too, where we'll start seeing some things around nurses and nursing and things like that. There may be a death in reference of somebody having a memorial or something like that that we see in the collective, where somebody high profile and they may be cremated. So it'll be like so like cremations may be talked about during this time period. Not sure why that's coming up, but that's what the ancestors is showing, especially in reference of this Saturn energy, where it may be that they show their memorial with them, instead of the casket being like the urn or whatever. I don't know why that's coming up, but that is okay. And then we had that Mars energy. So ancestors is saying right now it is the time in reference of Sagittarius energy with that Mars, which is telling me about mercy and understanding. Now the Mars energy is definitely here about family and friends and pressure and all kinds of things happening, the pressure being on, some feeling pressure, some feeling out of balance, some feeling like it's some things going on. This also is telling us about right now the future is also showing that Cancer is going to be on the rise, because that Mars energy brings that. Okay, so you guys will see a lot of different situations where people are going to be having cancer. Cancer is going to be popping up all over the place. Okay, but like I said, it's going to go back to some of the foreign situations that are going to be happening around the world. It's going to be a lot of restrictions towards foreign people and foreign things when things start changing in the future too, is the way I'm reading this. Okay, is communications. The communications is going to be very aggressive right now. So it's going to be aggressively tempers. It's going to be a lot of tempers. It's going to be a lot of killings. It's going to be a lot of murders. It's going to be a lot of sexual assaults. I just have to tell you the truth, okay? Because that's that Saturn and Mars energy, and we got the future realm in the front of the Saturn and Mars. So that's a lot of aggressiveness, okay? We can see let me add this. Yeah. So definitely Answers is just telling us about those two planets. Like I'm just gonna leave it there in reference of those two planets, and the places that we can see these things happening is what the Answers is saying: Oklahoma, Wyoming, Vermont, Massachusetts, Ohio, India, United Kingdom, Peru. Okay, we'll see a lot happening in those locations in the future. Let me see. I'm seeing some things happen. Yeah, in just them locations. New Zealand is also coming up very strongly too. Not sure, but that's what's coming up. Yeah, family, just be very careful. Okay, right now is not a time for you to be doing anything crazy. Okay, you need to be fighting against the urges of temptations and things like that, and emotional traumas and things of that sort could come up or start to occur very strongly with the energy that we are in. Okay, it's definitely a lot of emotional traumas that's popping up for us in the future, is what I'm seeing here. Emotional, distraught, okay? Everybody could be very, very upset in reference of who's winding up coming in the office, okay? Because this realm that it totals out to be is about us being emotionally distraught because of a man. There is a lot of secrets, but we're also on the rim of karma. Okay, so there'll be some wicked, evil things that will occur, but it also pan out where some things will be flowing right back to people, right? And people will start having justice will be prevailed. Okay, so this is the realm of karma we're on right now. And this is saying a lot of people going to have a lot of sorrows, a lot of regrets right now, family. But things, so you need to be putting good karma out there. You need to be doing what you paying it forward, doing what you should be doing, walking in the divine light, doing everything by the divine. Okay, that's the message. Okay, because right now we got this energy, we got Saturn's energy, and we got Mars energy. All aggressive energies in reference to what fell out when I asked, what is the energy around the Gibbous waning for right now? Okay. I'm not going to even clarify it. I'm just going to leave it there. Okay. Because the ancestors threw it straight out. And yeah. All right. So, and it's because of the energy that came through is connected to who we're getting ready to see that's going to be highlighted on a collective global basis, which is a Gemini for the future. Okay. Excuse me, and what comes with that. But it's definitely something around the medical field. Like I told you, look at the stethoscopes. Okay. Um, Money. See all the money on the Saturn, right? But definitely Mars, temperatures, right? Even the temperature of the weather, some of that is coming through too. Okay. But the ancestor said, have faith over fear. Have faith over fear. All right. Have faith over fear. That is the energy, family. All right, family. I love you guys. I will see you soon. Peace, 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 peace.